I don't know.
I don't think anybody watches.
Once it turns on, I'll just run across it once.
Like I said, I don't think anybody.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Right. Yeah. Just go ahead.
Well, I'm off right now. I'll be on in a minute, but yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, today is Thursday. Yeah, no. That was what I was gonna ask you, that position. There. So the mayor is not here today, and so I'll be filling in whether to begin with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, I just turned it on. So I'll entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
I so move.
I'll second.
And all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We'll go to committee reports and Mr. Police Chief.
Operations are normal.
Okay, test, we on?
No,
No? Yeah? No, yes. Good, okay.
doesn't sound like it.
Karen, can't-
I can hear you, but it sounds like just your regular voice.
It is.
Oh, this
Okay.
is just for on.
Okay, all right.
There's
We're
the
not
con-
special enough for the
Yeah,
microphone.
there's the confusion, there's the confusion.
Okay, which is easy to do.
Okay. Well, operations are normal for the most part there with the PD. The car did get taken down today, wireless today, the new car to get outfitted, so that should be done by the end of the week, they say. As far as what they're going to do with it, then we gotta wait for the cage to get put in it, and then some final things, and it'll be on the road, so that's moving forward like we were hoping it would. Other than that, operations are normal.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Mike, can you hear us okay?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so basically we got the snow blowers in our possession finally. It's down at the treatment plant, all nice and cozy. So that's a good thing. Everything down there is running fine. We got the digester all back together again. The whole plant now is back together and running as it should. We moved some planters today that got planted from the jail area back out throughout town. They look real nice. They did a good job when they planted them. Ought to do real well. I like those. And then basically the last thing is we've been working on the park, trying to get that all squared away. Still a lot of work left to do over there, a lot of detail work left, but we're knocking it out. So hopefully we'll have that done here within the next week or so. And that's about it.
Any questions for Mike? Okay. And he mentioned the park and just want to note that this Saturday at 1 o'clock, there'll be a memorial service for Carol Hill. So,
Former city council.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Michelle.
I have nothing to report.
Okay.
Ooh.
And so we have a, says public hearing special presentation, Toledo Planning Commission, Land Development Code update.
Do you want to jump back to see if the attorney has anything on his report?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Make sure your mic's on, too, John.
Hit the red button.
Yeah.
Jim Buzzard, Buzzard Rourke, city attorney. Don't get to come here very often, but I'm here tonight and I'm happy to be here. And that is the substance of my report.
And I apologize. So, Eric?
So tonight, so in your packet should be some information on the a cover letter along with all of the changes that we're proposing made to the land use code. And I think it's pretty straightforward. And I'm here to answer if you have questions. And that's one of the problems.
Did anybody have a chance or everybody have a chance to look at the changes?
Yes.
And, does anybody have any questions they want to ask? I think we talked about most of these when we were going over the
Yes.
actual,
And they reflect, basically this just reflects the differences.
Yeah, just-
between-
code reflects the changes that were made. Good. Anything else? And the only one that seemed to have any significance is perhaps the size of a building lot.
Absolutely.
And that opens up opportunities if people wanted to expand how much action took place on their.
The planning commission pretty much unanimously agreed that was the case.
Yeah, and certainly it's consistent with other communities around us to do that, so.
And we are recommending that while it's 4,000 square feet, kind of required because of the lot sizes in town, otherwise we wouldn't be able to divide much. And, but for new subdivisions, we've said it's 6,000, just to try to, because you'll have a larger parcel plan to work with.
Sure.
And it'll help make them, the lots a little larger. Sure.
Good. And we're actually going to move later on for approving this. Okay, so,
Approving the report for the public hearing.
okay. Yes. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you very
We
much.
enjoyed doing it, so.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you for
greatly
all-
appreciate the work that
Yeah,
you
we're really
do.
happy to see the land use code changes come through to
Yeah.
support the document. that we-
A tremendous amount of work. I know you've been working on it for months. Really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Hey, do we have any public comment on agenda items? So we're now going to appoint council position number 3. Michelle or Shelley Thomas is going to be filling in that the remainder of the term for we lost Carol this year. And so Michelle will be fulfilling that position. So Michelle, in lieu of the mayor being sick tonight, then I get the honor and privilege of swearing you in.
Ron, can I jump back one step?
I'll do whatever you want.
Okay, the council does need to
Oh,
confirm.
I'm
that,
sorry.
so-
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, that would really
You're
help,
so
okay?
sorry.
So, I'm excited about the process. So we'll need a motion to.
I'll make a motion to appoint Shelley Thomas in the position number 3.
Okay, and do we have a second?
Second.
And in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Okay, thank you very much, Michelle. And the mayor, as I said, is gone. So I apologize for lack of phone to think. So once again, we're very, very pleased and honored that you're going to join us and be a part of the council. And we know that you've been a part of our community for a long time, and we're glad that you're a part of the city council. So it's my privilege to have you repeat after me the oath of office, and then we'll go from there. So if you want to raise your hand. I, Michelle Thomas,
I, Michelle Thomas,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I am a citizen of the United States,
that I am a citizen of the United States,
the state of Washington,
the state of Washington,
and the city of Toledo,
and the city of Toledo,
that I will support the Constitution and laws
that I will support the Constitution and the laws
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the state of
the
Washington,
Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
and the ordinances of the city of Toledo,
and the ordinances of the city of Toledo,
and will, to the best of my judgment,
and will, to the best of my judgment,
skill, and ability,
skill, and ability,
truly, faithfully, diligently, and impartially perform the duties of city council position number 3 for the city of Toledo, Lewis County, Washington.
to the best of my judgment, skill, ability, truly, faithfully, diligently, and impartially perform the duties of city council position number 3 for the city of Toledo, Lewis County, Washington.
As such duties are prescribed by law,
As such duties are prescribed by law,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you. And I'm sure.
Just want to remind people too, this is filing week, so city has 4 positions up for,
I think Shelley's position, Ron's position, Gary's position, and Emily's position. So it is filing week. So
And,
if you plan on running, please file.
yeah, and Shelley's and Gary's positions are for 2-year terms,
Yeah, mine's a 2.
and the other 2 are for 4-year terms. So, hey. At this point in time, I would entertain a motion to approve the land development code for public hearing. So do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the land development code for public hearing.
Second.
I'll second it.
Okay, and do we have any discussion? Okay, so, now for the question, all in favor of approving the land development code? Indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay, the second thing is we have a memo of understanding with the Lewis County Parks and Recreation for the testing of water. And Michelle, do you have any additional detail you want to?
No, so this is for the South County Park, that's also known as Wallace Pond. And we've kind of been working with Lewis County over the last year. Right prior to COVID, we were getting everything in place for the Lions Club to help do some things over there. And the one suggestion, or the thing we did talk about with the county, was the city of Toledo's ability to do the water testing, and it's for the drinking potable water, not the lake. So just so that everybody's clear on that, we test our own water, samples 5 days a week. It's going to be the same over there. We have the equipment to do it. Any special testing that we do twice a month, they only do once a month over there. So our public works guys will be able to do that. Lewis County will pay for any of the testing and equipment needed. So we will just be doing the manpower to help out and get that park open and stayed open, hopefully.
Yeah, good.
So, and Mike Fisher, our director, and I've talked about the memorandum, what was going to be required of them or asked of them, and he was all on board with it. I don't know if Mike has anything else to say about it.
No, basically, it's just going to be the standard weekly, daily tests for the residual for chlorine, and then we'll do once a month tests for bacteria into the health department. Like Michelle said, they're going to pay for that. We just got to run it in there for them. All the tests, run it in there for them. And basically, that's about it. Just kind of what we do on our own water system is going to be over there. And like she said, nothing in the lake or anything like that. It's just going to be all potable water and such. So pretty basic.
And it will facilitate the opening of the park. It will facilitate the opening of the park on a regular basis.
Right, keeping it open.
So in light of that, I would entertain a motion that we would sign the memorandum of understanding between the city of Toledo and Lewis County Parks and Recreation to test the water.
I so move.
Have a second? Shelley seconds. Do we have any further discussion? Okay, so all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We have an application from Wayne Brown on 702 Pacific Road regarding a water reduction, water bill reduction request, which we do on a regular basis. The paperwork shows that he did have a leak right on his side of the meter, and that it required a repair, and that he had the repair done, and now he's coming back and asking for a reduction of the overage. And the total amount that he's requesting to be adjusted is
$34.81 with your credit.
okay. So it seems pretty standard. Does any could you have a motion that we would approve this water reduction adjustment?
I'll make a motion to approve the water reduction request by Wayne Brown for $34.81.
And do we have a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you. We have a special event application from Donna's Place for Cheese Days celebration, and applications in front of you. Donna, did you want to make any comments or address it at all, or?
You're on camera.
The only thing I would like to comment on is, I know last year, of course, because of COVID, we didn't get to have anything, but it was in October, November, we had a fundraiser for Riley Birdwell, and there was a car parked on the street that was there overnight. And so we couldn't put the music at the opposite end of the street like we normally do, because we couldn't get the car moved. We didn't know who it was. I did call Randy Pennington, and he tried to help find the owner. We just couldn't find it. So we had to put the music at this end of the street. I don't know if there's a request that maybe we could get a sign posted that says no 24-hour parking or something on that street, so it doesn't happen this year. So we can make sure the music is at that end, so it's coming this direction instead of into the neighborhood.
Yeah, the neighborhood appreciates that.
Yeah, we would much rather have that in for them. I mean, we're usually done by midnight. I don't like to be opening later than that. So we're usually done by midnight, but I know it is better if the music goes this way outside of the neighborhood area.
And
So if there's any way we can get a sign done, I mean, I would be glad to pay for it if I need to, but I just don't know where to go to get it.
okay, John, would that be something that Mike would do, or something that you would do?
Typically, because of the parade, we sign that whole Augusta Street in that area, no parking, but it's usually not until after the bars close.
Yeah, that year it was like,
Evening.
it was like Thursday, the guy parked his truck there. And
Yeah, I
so,
remember that.
yeah, remember that? Yeah.
So, so which one of you would, if we put a sign, would it be your department or which is Mike's department?
You can sign it, if you want to do it earlier, the problem with that, you know, maybe just around that area earlier than normal.
Or I didn't know if we could put like a sign on that telephone pole in front of the landing, maybe that says no 24-hour parking or something like that.
Yeah, we can figure something.
Okay.
Perhaps a unique sign that would say no parking after such and such.
Right. Because like Randy told me,
Yeah.
if they couldn't have the car towed because there was no signage, so that they couldn't park there.
Yeah, it was there prior to some.
Yeah.
It was an issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we would entertain a motion that we would approve the special event permit application for the Cheese Days event that would take place during Tuesdays, the 9th and the 10th.
I'll make a motion to approve Donna's Place request for a special event permit application for July Cheese Days, 9th through the 10th.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
And do we have any more discussion? Yes,
I would like clarification
yes.
as to, are you allowing her to do it Thursday morning at 8 AM or Thursday evening at 6 PM?
I'm asking for Thursday evening at 6 PM.
Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Okay,
I'd like to
yes.
know a little bit of it. So in the past, when that's happened, and I think you talked about this, the bank and community has been not really happy about that. I know that in the past, you've talked to them to do that.
Yes, I talked to, Lisa wasn't there the other day when I talked to her, but she says as long as we can put like a handicap parking on the street, that she's okay with it, as long as the handicap, right here on the, on 505, we can just do a temporary handicap parking there. There's no problem with it on that Friday.
I'll try to figure it out.
You guys are talking and the.
Sorry.
Okay. My question was, if Donna had asked the local businesses in that on Ramsey Way there, if Thursday was going to work for them because they still are open on Friday, and sometimes in the past that's been a problem. And she says that yes, that she had talked to the bank and the bank was okay with it as long as there was a handicap parking available on, I guess it'd be Cowlett Street. So I'm okay with that if they're okay with that, because in the past that was always a hoo-ha.
And Donna, I know in the past that you spoke with the Valley View, and are they on board again this year?
I haven't talked to them this year, but I didn't talk to them yet this year, but I will. They're closed on Fridays, so they don't have a problem with it. I've talked to Nikki at the hair place. She doesn't have a problem with
Okay.
it. I've talked to Donna's place and she doesn't have a problem with it. And then.
Well, she's really hard to get along
She is
with.
very hard to get along with, but I have
So,
spoken to her.
Okay,
And then Chris at the school district, he doesn't have a problem either. But
okay.
if you need me to get something writing, I would gladly do that for you, but usually we just do verbal and everybody's fine. And then Mike Morgan that has the landing, him and I have actually partnered up to help them out, and we're gonna be providing the meals for them, so they have their beer and wine over there, and we're gonna do like a menu where they can call over to us and get food delivered over to them, or they can come get it. So I worked with Mike Morgan on that too.
Okay, and would you hand that back to Don? I just ask my question on a regular basis every time we have a thing, is whether or not we've had any incidents in the recent past of where the police need to intervene to resolve issues at this particular Cheese Days celebration that took place out of Donna's place.
Cheese Days has been really mellow the last few Cheese Days, knock
Last
on
year
wood
was-
somewhere, because I don't want it to ever change. But no, Donna's place has always been a very easy place to work with, and we haven't had any issues that we haven't been able to handle there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we have a motion and a second, and all in favor, please indicate by saying aye,
Aye.
and opposed. We have another special event application for a protest. I don't think we have jurisdiction to go over what he's requesting. They want to have a protest against children wearing masks. But they indicate that they want to do it upon the bridge. And the office has indicated to them that they would have to contact the Department of Transportation to get appropriate permission on that. So I think, Don, I guess we're okay to just take no action on this. Is that correct? Okay, and is there anybody here that was coming to speak regarding this particular issue? Okay, so in light of that, then we will just take no action on it. Okay. Mr. Buzzer, we have a letter from you and regarding the district court contract. Would you mind maybe sharing us the gist of your letter?
Sure. So the city of Toledo contracts with Lewis County District Court for court services. The city of Toledo doesn't have its own municipal court. Years and years ago, they elected to do that through Lewis County. So the city of Toledo has a contract with the county for the court to hold the court. So it supplies the courtroom and the facilities and the clerks and the judges, etc. When cases are cited here, whether it's criminal or traffic infractions, they go to district courts. There's a filing fee. The court charges the city to handle each one of those cases. The contract the city has with the county also says that the city is responsible for its own prosecutorial services. That's our office, and also is responsible for the cost of public defender. So the city is not in charge of selecting who the public defender will be. There is a pool of public defenders that sign up and they qualify with the county and their local attorneys. And on a case-by-case or rotating basis, the judges or the office of district court assigns a public defender to each one of the Toledo defendants. That they are charged, the public defenders charged by the public defenders individually each have their own contract with the county for performing their duties and what they're going to charge. So they charge on a per unit basis, and one unit is one case, for example, and I believe it is $240. And then there are some exceptions to that. If it's a DUI or a case that's more involved, it could be more. If it's a foreign language person, then there's usually more because it takes more time. If it's DV assault or something, or if it's a trial or appeal, etc. Recently, and these contracts haven't been changed for quite some time. The contract that the city of Toledo has with the county says that if there is going to be a change to the rates paid to the public defenders, that is a subject of negotiation between the city of Toledo and the county. Recently, the county contracted with several public defenders for rate increases, and those rate increases are outlined in the letter. For those of you who have not read the letter, it's effective January 1, 2021, an increase, and then it gradually steps up through 2025. The end result, it's an 83% increase to $440 per unit, plus more depending on what the case or situation or trial may be. The county sent the proposed new contract to the city of Toledo, not just the city of Toledo, but all the cities in the county that contract with the district court for services. They've already signed with the public defenders. They didn't negotiate or have any permissions from any of the cities to contract on the city's behalf. So what's before you now is a proposed contract from the county. And it's before all the other cities as well, asking for it to be signed retroactive to January 1, 2021. If it's signed as is, then I'm sure the city will get a bill for the amount of fees that have been paid to the public defenders going backwards to January. Another provision that has been changed in this contract is the arbitration provision. In the event that there is a disagreement between the city of Toledo and the district court and or county for any contractual term, the parties agree that it will be submitted to arbitration. And that's that. A new provision in the contract says that the only thing that will be considered by the arbitrator are the increased costs of the county. So there, I mean, so if the county wants to increase the cost under the new contract, they can. And if you want to argue about it with arbitration, the only thing the arbitrator will consider are the increased costs to the county. So my office sent out a letter to the city of Toledo, just basically an exclamation point, alerting, hey, this is a big change. Please be aware. I think, I'm asking that you slow down and perhaps have a conversation about it. I won't hide that I'm not a fan of the city of Toledo or any of the cities contracting with the district court for services. I might have some people in this room that disagree with me. In my opinion, at the district court level, you have elected judges. They aren't particularly in tune to the city that they are serving. From time to time, with the judge has the power and absolutely the authority to administer justice. And sometimes that justice is going to jail, and sometimes that jail term can be quite lengthy, up to 364 days in jail. And every city has a tale of that happening. And when that happens, that bill comes to the city, and that can't be avoided. Over time, incrementally, there are increases in costs. There always are. This one seems to be quite a jump. And particularly with our judges that are elected now, one of which is my brother. This is a professional disagreement, not a familial disagreement. It doesn't seem that the judges usually, from time to time, have the city's best interest, which is not only its citizens, but its budget in mind. And I would like to have a conversation about what other options may be, and perhaps an option is nothing, do nothing, carry on the status quo, sign the contract, make it retroactive to January 1, 2021, and carry forward. Perhaps that conversation is signing this contract as is, but only being effective from the date that the city of Toledo actually signed it, so that they have notice of what they're getting into going forward. Or perhaps negotiate a different rate structure for city cases versus county cases. Or perhaps city of Toledo start its own municipal court, which is an extreme possibility. Or perhaps the city of Toledo contract with a different city for its court services. When you contract with a different city for court services, the contracts very much will be similar to what they are now. But the main difference is the city judge, the several city judges in the area seem to be in tune with what I referred to earlier, the needs of the city. It's about money. I am not aware of the amount of money the city of Toledo pays to the county on a regular basis. I do know under the terms of the contract that if there are fines paid under an infraction of something, the amount of money that is taken from that, well, there's a charge filing fee. I'm not sure if that's discharged to the city or if it's deducted. That amount of money goes to the city treasurer, and then it's split up according to the state statute. And some of it goes to the city. And there is a criminal case. If that person is adjudged to be guilty, the public defender costs that's charged to the defendant is billed to the city. In the event that the defendant repays those costs, then I'm not quite sure, but more than likely that would be repaid to the city. There are fines, and fine amounts are taken by the county. I believe those are remitted to the city in the event that the defendant pays. There is a provision in the contract that says that the cities will support the Lewis County District Court. And for every case that goes to district court, if someone is put on probation, there's a $100 fee levied against the case, not the defendant, but because it's the city's the bill again. And again, I'll let Michelle or somebody else speak to the monies about it. But the reason I'm here before you, I just want to make you aware of the cost increases, and also that district court isn't necessarily the only answer.
So,
Mayor Pro Tem, I've got a couple of quick comments I'd like to make while this is all fresh in my mind. First of all, Michelle, is it possible to have a workshop to discuss some of this stuff? I don't think it's anything that can just be decided overnight.
Definitely, yeah. The city
Okay.
council can have a workshop. Just so you know too, that when we initially did get the contract and it was put before you guys, you did agree to it. And then once we got the letter from Buzzard's office, the mayor we put the brakes on it just so that
was
you
my
can
question.
learn
Yeah.
more about
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah, I'd
And
like to have a
so-
workshop with Mr. Buzzard so that we can really become informed on what we should and maybe. And my other comment is, why would we want to sign a contract if our contract doesn't end until the end of this year? Why would we want to sign it before January 2022? So,
The reason that
Yeah.
happened is because the county realized, oh, fill in blank. They took it upon themselves to negotiate with the public defenders. They entered into a binding contract with those public defenders to pay a certain amount. But they forgot to include the cities or even ask them what their thoughts are, if it's okay, or negotiate. They have no contractual privity whatsoever to contract on behalf of the cities for the services. So they are now, although, as you correctly pointed out, the current contract doesn't even expire on its face until the end of this year. They are asking you to sign a new contract anyway and make it retroactive to cover what they've done.
I'm not a big fan of back paying anything that has for services that we may or may not have received, so.
So, Michelle, my question was what you had already alluded to, that we did stop the process that we had begun.
Correct.
And so I guess that would be a workshop or whatever that you would set up.
Yeah, we can do a workshop, so it's up to you guys if you want to do it like prior to a council meeting on a different night than a council meeting. However you guys would like to do it, we can do that. We'll be having our public hearing. We'll set that for our next council meeting on the planning commission changes. So.
Okay.
I prefer a workshop separate from the council because it just gives us a little bit more time to really get in depth and lay everything out and
And I think.
hear
we
everything you have to
discuss it
say.
with the mayor.
Yeah,
And get his input, and then I will agree to attend. And so some have schedules that aren't as open, so I would maybe have the mayor discuss with them. And so we can set up a time that all will be able, as many as would desire would be able to attend.
And I would imagine you would want the city attorney present.
Yes,
for
oh,
that also.
absolutely, yeah.
So.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you need any kind of a
that
motion
costs
on
me about
this?
all the parking costs.
Michelle, do you need any kind of a motion on this at all? Okay,
And do we have to have any kind of motion to stop the action we already took? Okay, thank you. Okay.
so what, yeah, we'll invite him as long as he brings pizza and beer. No, I'm joking.
Is there any,
I'm just joking.
is there any other discussion on this issue? Okay, you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, I appreciate the opportunity to be heard. The workshop's a good idea, just to have information in front of you.
Yeah,
and make
we
a
appreciate it.
informed decision.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you for
Yeah.
calling this to our attention. We really appreciate that.
Okay. In unfinished business, we have ordinance, the second reading of ordinance number 765. An ordinance of the city of Toledo, Washington, authorizing an inter-fund loan from the Water Sewer Capital Improvement Fund to the Police Guard Reserve Fund in the sum of $28,000, providing for the terms of repayment and providing for the interest rate, and authorizing the expenditure of said fund to pay for a 2021 Dodge Charger with police package. And what this has to do with is just us lending money from one fund to another to do it legally. A very, very minimal interest rate that is paid from one fund to the other. And it goes out over a couple of years period, but it's was seen the most appropriate and a way for us to accomplish the funding of the new police car. So so we have the second reading. Do we need any kind of motion on that? Just okay. So I need a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance number 765.
I so move.
And second? Second by Shelley, and any further discussion? And all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Okay. Other business, COVID-19 updates. It's a, it's
New information out there, potentially, I think it might be all over by June 30th. So,
which year? Then, Yeah.
I guess, the big thing that I would like to ask council, you know, when we get to the June 30th date, I know we've been allowing, you know, through Zoom. And it is a little bit more difficult to do through Zoom. I think we've all had our challenges with our different audio equipment and stuff. So, you know, do you guys want to make some kind of decision as you need to show up at the meeting unless there's extenuating circumstance, you know? It's been nice, like we've had people on vacation and they're able to Zoom in to, and, you know, be a part of the meeting because of something like that. The mayor last time, even though he was sick, he was able to Zoom in on the meeting, and in the past, you know, with Carol Hill, with her health condition, it was difficult for her to get out of her house. And so she, you know, we did it by telephone for years. And then when COVID hit, we, you know, got all the equipment and we're doing the Zoom meetings. So that's the only thing I would like to ask council, you know, how do you want to make the Zoom meetings handled? If you could actually show up for the meeting, do you want the people to be here or do you care?
My personal feeling is that we should do it in, we should maybe eliminate the Zoom option and have it here. However, the one caveat I have is every target that has been set regarding COVID has been changed. So I would like us to get closer to that date and before we, rather than saying the next meeting would be non-Zoom. That's my opinion, and I don't speak for anybody else.
I think we need to wait until we get further down the line, until we have some more directives. Also, I know there are individuals that have not been vaccinated and are still afraid to be within the general population. So, you know, I certainly don't want to make anybody do something that they're really uncomfortable with. But I think as we move forward, we'll start finding people are going to be on here less and less and less. But I don't know that I'd ever want to do away with an option, especially since we'd already passed allowances for Carol, and we made sure that that was in place for moving forward for anyone that had those situations. So
and I think we're probably in agreement, because I think that we should have special options, but the mainstay
could be here, you know. Yeah.
I agree with you, Ron. I think in person, but there's some major exceptions that we could go Zoom.
Yeah, and I definitely want to keep it on like YouTube live.
Yeah.
And, you know, I still want to, you know, do that with our meetings, is keep them on YouTube.
Or like you said, with extenuating circumstances, somebody's going to be on vacation, but they really wanted to attend the meeting.
Right.
And,
Or if we have a special presentation by somebody that just can't be here, or they're, you know, even if our engineer, instead of paying them, you know, to come all the way from Seattle or Olympia down that travel time, have them Zoom in remotely.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
Yeah.
So.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I think it opens up a new beginning for us without having to, you know, I think there's just going to be some new options in the future.
And I think that unfortunately, at this point in time, confusion is really what rules, and misunderstandings. I went to Venice today, and on the door, they say, please mask up. Then right next to it, it says, masks are no longer required for those fully vaccinated.
I know.
And the same, right, so which one of those two signs am I supposed to respond to? And I told my wife, I said, we probably should make copies if you don't carry it, maybe you should make copies of your vaccination in case somebody asks you and you don't have a mask. You might not get to eat.
That's
So-
gonna end up being a sticky wicket too, but that's a whole nother
Yeah, the whole
conversation.
thing. Yeah, and so at this point in time, I think that we probably need to bring that up at the next meeting. And at that point in time, we should be a little bit closer. Any other COVID-19 updates?
No.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other items they want to bring up? Then I would entertain a motion that we would dismiss.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay,
Second.
we have a motion to adjourn. All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
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 Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.